Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and today I want to talk about another older martial arts superhero, and probably the first um, martial arts superhero in comic books, long before uh, Shang-Chi and the Mantis from the Avengers and Judomaster. There was a some golden age character called Judo Joe, but he was no superhero. He was just dressed in normal costumes, in a normal dress. But Judo Master was actually dressed in a superhero costume. This is from Special War Series, Volume 4, Number 4, from November 1965. And it's a early 12th center, obviously. Rip Jagger is the alter ego of Judomaster. And this is early artwork from the Frank McLaughlin. And Frank McLaughlin was an artist. He was also a martial artist. He also worked on some pages of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, the black and white Marvel magazine that came out in the 1970s, and drew some basically judo stances, martial arts stances, in the pages of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. In the first, I think, issue number 2, number 3, and maybe number 4. But anyways, this is some of his early artwork, and it's not as good as his later work, actually. But you can see from the pages that Judomaster is actually the genuine thing. In other words, he's a genuine martial arts superhero. And it's one of the things that's showcased on the covers of each of the books. And you can see McLaughlin goes into the history of judo, introduced by none other than Sarge Steele, and talks about the founder of Aikido, Master Uye Shiba, and shows images that are and artwork that's fairly accurate when it comes to depicting martial arts stances. Anyway, so this is the very first appearance of Judomaster, and he's a genuine martial arts superhero. So that's karate, jiu-jitsu, and judo. And I've showcased this before, but I only showed the covers. I didn't do any deep dive into the books. And here you have the first issue, and it's formerly, it says here, Gunmaster, which I have a few issues of. Volume 6, number 89. So it's just continued the numbering from that initial series, Gunmaster. The artwork improved from the first appearance from Special War Series. And you can tell, or at least I can, that the inking, he got inking help, and I think the inking help came from, my guess is Dick Giordano. There you go. So that's him fighting a mountain storm, as he's called in the issue and on the cover. At this point in the history of Charlton, Dick Giordano was the editor of the series. And here again you have Judomaster describing different martial arts stances, judo being the gentle way. All right, so that's the first issue of the solo series, continuing on from Gunmaster. And here we have the next issue. And put it up here. So this is the next issue, Judomaster Trader. And you have, it says volume 6, number 90, so it continues on in the series. You can tell the artwork is improved. One of the neat things about Judomaster, there's they're fighting 5, Captain Atom, Judomaster, Thunderbolt. And it was Giordano who actually edited the hero line. And there you go. So the artwork and the story actually by Frank McLaughlin is really quite literate. All right. There you go. Let's see if it shows in this issue. Yeah, so this has a letter from Dick Giordano, who was the editor at the time. And basically it's saying that Judomaster was initially, when it was initially begun as a solo, a one-shot, but then became a popular character, and subsequently they decided they would just continue the series. So there you go. And yes, it does have an appearance of Thunderbolt. Not the first appearance, but a 2-page backstory of Thunderbolt. All right, so that's that. And we have the cat. Story and art, Frank McLaughlin. This is issue number 91. The art gets better with each issue. The inking looks like it was done, like I said before, by Giordano. And it features some of the other heroes, the Charlton Action Hero Group it was called. And there's Thunderbolt. It was when Giordano was in charge of this line. It was an ambitious venture. This is the first appearance of Tiger, the guy who became his sidekick. And there's Judomaster competing in Kendo. There's a splash page. Well-drawn splash page, which you don't see too often in Charlton Comics. And yes, it has a story and artwork by Dick Giordano. And this is Sarge Steele with his biomechanical hand. There you go. And the stories on the Sarge Steele stories actually were really well written. And there you have a picture of Frank McLaughlin. And it gives you some background on the creator, writer, artist. So Frank X. McLaughlin was born in 1935 and studied at the University of Bridgeport, New Haven Teachers College. In 1953 at the Academy of Judo in Stratford under Joe Costa. So he's a fourth Dan meaning black belt, and he's a part-time instructor in on judo. So there you go. Like I said, his artwork does appear. It's basically the same as the judo instruction pages that you see here. You see those kind of instruction pages in comic books. You saw it in particular in the Harvey Comics' Black Cat, where you had, I think her name was Linda Turner, was the alter ego of Black Cat. And you would have Lee Elias. There's another great splash page. And this villain also recurs, the Smiling Skull he's called. He recurs in the pages of the Sarge Steel comic book. He was a great villain. These stories are actually, as I said, and it's corroborated in the pages of a book by Jeff Roven on comic book superheroes, who said it's the issues of Judomaster were really well written and very literate. And again, he, as a instructor of judo, he explains the different kubinagi and the tsurikomi goshi, another kubinagi head lift throw, eri tsurikomi goshi, lifting hip throw. So pretty accurate stuff. Anyway, so this is the Sarge Steel. Again, great stories, brilliantly written, well conceived, and unfortunately short-lived. But Sarge Steel, when it lasted, was underrated. Anyway, there you go. There's the letters page. So that's that one. What issue is this? Number 92. And there's the cover appearance of Tiger. And recurring appearance of the Smiling Skull. This is number 93 from February 1967. And this is when kind of the origin of Tiger, when he becomes. And there's this famous splash page. Peacemaker, Captain Atom in his new costume, and Judomaster continuing on along with Thunderbolt. So there you go. And that's a great shot, actually. It looks familiar. This stance looks familiar. Like I've seen it drawn somewhere else before. There's Tiger. I suspect a lot of these Judomaster pages were inked by Giordano. And there's a nice Sarge Steel splash page. All right. There, we'll do another deep dive on the next issue. And Mountain Storm is back. And so is Sarge Steel. Okay. The 4 Charlton action heroes. There you go. I believe this guy, Judomaster, was the longest lasting of them. Another splash page. Yeah, some great story, great artwork, actually. Underrated. Yeah, it says McLaughlin and Giordano, which I suspect he inked in all of the Judomaster stories. The character of Judomaster has a lot of similarities in costume. Just the ponytail, the leggings, not the coloring, obviously, to Iron Fist, which I think, well, I know that Iron Fist, in the second issue at least, in Marvel Premiere number 16, I think, was inked by Dick Giordano. So this is volume 6, number 95. And there's the Smiling Skull. And all his villains make an appearance in this issue. The Acrobat being one of his new villains. There you go. And ninjutsu, before ninjas were even popular. This was from 1967. Not exactly what ninjas looked like. And here we have, not exactly what ninjas look like today. But this is an early depiction of it, I guess. And here we have Sarge Steele, art Dick Giordano, script Steve Skeets. Yeah, the Sarge Steele issues are, in my view, the storyline and the issues are, in my view, some of the best in comics. And here we have a nice clean copy, number 96 of Judomaster. And the Acrobat returns. Just simple, clean fun. That's all this is. Simple, clean fun. All right. Lots of letters. And of course, the Sarge Steele backup stories. Lovingly drawn by Dick Giordano. All right. That's that one, the Acrobat. And this one is a simple story about a boxer. So number 97. This is one of the first issues I ever got from a comic dealer in Winnipeg, a famous one who's a contributor to Overstreet, the Overstreet Comic Price Guide, a guy named Doug Salipa. So this one is, there's Sarge Steele, and this one's a simple story about a boxer, and where Judomaster decides to fight for this boxing coach and wins the day. Like I said, when the later issues, McLaughlin just got better with his art from the initial appearance in Special War series. All right, so that's that. So that's number 97, and this is the last issue, number 98. And the dinosaurs. What's a good comic book without dinosaurs? And Judomaster, the general, the lead character, one of the lead characters in the story, is asking Rip Jagger to do an investigation of this strange island that grows these dinosaur monsters. That's Rip Jagger's girlfriend. The good thing about this is that it doesn't, I don't know if it was the artist's choice, but it doesn't depict yellow faces on Asian characters. Some great artwork here. I don't know who the inker was. I'm not sure anyway. And one of the last appearances of Sarge Steele in comic books. Really underrated series. And probably the last time Giordano drew Sarge Steele. Alright, so, and this issue of Blue Beetle never appeared. The issue never appeared, but the artwork was published in black and white. Eventually in the Charlton fanzine. Get the name of it. Anyway, so there you go. That's my deep dive into the issues of Judomaster. Beautifully rendered by Frank McLaughlin, and featuring stories, backup stories of Sarge Steele, drawn by none other than Dick Giordano. And as you saw, as I was flipping through the books, that it's more than likely that the inking was done by Giordano on Frank McLaughlin's art. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this exploration foray of the first real superhero in comic books, way ahead of the time of Shang-Chi and Iron Fist and whoever else you can name. But he was, Judomaster was the first genuine superhero, martial arts superhero in comic books. Some could say the Black Cat, because of Lee Elias's rendering of judo poses in the Harvey Comics Black Cat. But I would disagree, because Black Cat, along with people like Lady Luck, superheroes like Lady Luck, also used martial arts. You could argue that, and Phantom Lady used martial arts. So you could argue that too, but as a specific martial arts series, Judomaster is the first. All right, so if you liked, give me that thumbs up. And thanks everyone for subscribing, and please continue to subscribe. I'll put a link to the previous video I did on the other Charlton martial arts heroes. Feel free to comment and let me know what you think. Okay, thanks. Bye.